because however much America strays away from the ideals of justice, the goal of America is freedom. Abused and scorned though we may be, our destiny is tied up in the destiny of America. Before the Pilgrim Fathers landed at Plymouth, we were here. Before Jefferson etched across the pages of history the majestic words of the Declaration of Independence, we were here. Before the beautiful words of the Star-Spangled Banner were written, we were here. And for more than 2 centuries, our forebears labored here without wages. They made cotton king. They built the homes of their masters in the midst of the most humiliating and oppressive conditions. And yet out of a bottomless vitality, they continue to grow and develop.
I hope y'all are feeling so good. I hope y'all are feeling inspired. If you're not,
hope this energy boost helps.
So amazing today, so inspired. I actually did a monologue today. You know, things are going pretty well for me. You know, life check, you know, sometimes you just gotta do that. But anyways, enough about me and more about this video that I was telling you about, because it's time. Okay, it's time. So I have my little back book, my notes, and I don't have all the notes that I was expecting to have because I went to the library and I really didn't find much content, and so I'm gonna have to go to the main library of the city for more information, actually speak to the people and see if they could order a book with the exact information that I am looking for, because y'all know it's just facts. Read, speak, facts. Okay, so
no queso.
Let's get into it. Pause, because my best friend left his juice over here and I'm about to drink it. And I don't care. Respectfully. Okay. Back to it. Okay, so yes, my people, gather around. Open your ears for real now. Because we need to put some respect on our name, on our culture, and just on ourselves as a people, period. Okay. Now, but I was a little bit discouraged when I found that I couldn't find the books that I wanted to, you know, get into to give you guys some, you know, truth about us. But it's so hard because they basically bury, like, they really try to bury our history and stuff. So, but it's gonna be worth it because we're gonna know. So getting into, we are not black people, okay? And I say this because of the definition of black itself, okay? The definition of black is of the very darkest color, owing to the absence of complete absorption of light, non-existence to say, the opposite of white. So that's just, it does not define us in many ways, because we are multiple shades of brown, you know, to the lighter shades of browns to the, you know, darker shades of browns. Multiple shades. We're just not black. We're just, that just, it doesn't fit. Here's another definition. So any human group, dark colored skin, especially of African or Australian Aboriginal descent or ancestry. That's just a flat out lie, okay? So to be black, you have to be a darker colored skin. Like, that's just not the truth. We come in all shades. So, and also keep in mind, the original definition of an American is a native to America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races of Turtle Island. So, you know what I'm saying. They didn't say Turtle Island. I added that in there because, you know, Dan Calloway be teaching me some stuff, you know. He really inspired me to really, like, you know, try to get some information out there. Really check out his channel for real, like, the facts and the tea, because he got the tea. Okay. So, here's another thing that I just wanted to add. So, I feel like from what I've seen and researched and whatever the case may be, it just seemed like it was like ever since they were aware of us they just didn't want us around. Like, they just wanted to fade us out. You know, as for like far back as the government goes, from what I see and what I've heard, and even to today, it's just certain things that's just like off. It just seems like they're pushing an agenda to try to, in a way, shadow ban us, okay, to simply say. Even when it comes to cultural vultures and discrediting us, or people not getting certain representation, being able to get their hair done, being, you know, in the entertainment industry, or, you know, it's just a lot of, it's way harder for us, and it for obvious reason. And the separation is like, to a certain extent, there's so much we can do, but if we were just to come together and realize that we have each other more than anything else, and if we could just realize and accept with open arms, rather than trying to just have like this head honcho mentality where you just have to be the boss. Like, we can all be in a certain control of us rising and just being better and overcoming these legal segregation that continues today. Let me just say it like that. And it just even goes back to like, okay, like I was saying, like from the time they seen us, they were like, oh no, we gotta get them up through. They're like, okay, yeah, they over here chilling, living their life how they live, but we gonna say this wasn't even nothing and call it a whole new thing and bring whole new meaning to it, and even try to control with what was, and then with a whole little fake little acting like it's peace. That's why they say keep your friends close and your enemies closer, because they'll be your bestie until it's time to reap the benefits of whatever they could get from you, or like take over from you. Like, the unity needs to come together. Like, y'all just don't know. Stronger together than apart, for real. And then at the end of the day, all kinfolk ain't kinfolk. Y'all know it. Y'all see it every day in the media. Like, I don't like to talk down on nobody's creative perspectives, but I feel like a lot of stuff that's being pushed is just not good for us emotionally, spiritually, eternally, for us to just be a daily thing we digest. That's why the world is so fucked up. Okay, so we are not black people, but we do have an identity, and we need to stick to our original identity because it represents us, aboriginals, as we are native to our land, Turtle Island, which is, you know, the United States before it was the United States. So we need to get back to that, and we need to watch our language and how we speak upon ourselves and each other. You know, we need to be aware and really try our hardest to navigate away, really make extinct the word nigga. And I'm gonna just say that, okay? I am not perfect, and I've been brought up around it a lot. You know, I use it casually and stuff, but it's just a word that's just unnecessary, and it doesn't really hold, it doesn't do us justice. It doesn't hold weight for us, not in a positive way, not in a way that we should just want to elevate each other all the time and ourselves all the time. So for us to be saying nigga, I know it can be said to come back to when we were referred to as Negroes, which is like black, but we are not black, so why do that? Or the when they called us niggas, and niggas, N-E-G-U-S, was more like a royalty term. It's just not used like that anymore. And then it was turned into, you know, the slavery of it. It's just, why keep it? It's not us. So let's trash that. I know we should refer to each other as we are Aboriginals, and just respect each other more, love each other more, be cautious of what we're saying, why we're saying it. So let's get to how they try to get us extinct, like with some type of mob, like they do, like how they be doing our animals and stuff. So I'm editing my video about the uploading and stuff, and I'm like, wait, I have to tell them this, because I'm like, wait. So I'm trying to get the information at the library and stuff, and this lady is asking me what's my video about, and I'm like, well, I want to help my people get away from referring to themselves as black people, because that's not what we are. That was the name that was given to us. And she basically said, well, y'all should be happy with that, because it's way better than some of the other things that you guys were called during that time, as far as colored, Negro, and similar to that. I wasn't there around that time, and I haven't done that research on the other names of that nature, but it's just like, no, I'm not going to be grateful because you choose to call me something better than what you was calling me before. I am who I am, not what you say that I am. I just had to let y'all know that because it burnt me a little bit, like, bitch, wait. This is the last thing that I'm going to say about them creating us as black people. They invented themselves. They reinvented themselves as they attempt to reinvent us to this day. Is still going. They invented themselves as Americans. No one says European Americans. They're just Americans. And mind you, remember when I told you American original meaning, which is in Noah's Webster's dictionary, is Native America, originally applied to the Aboriginals of copper-colored people. Okay? And it was not America at this time, it was Turtle Island. So the Aboriginals from Turtle Island, that was just what it was. As you would say, the American people from America, whatever, America, United States, they just switched it. I just had to say that real quick. Do you like my new glasses though? Okay, no, for real though. Okay, so I'm not about to just give you all this information how y'all like it usually, because I know how y'all like it with all these like slides and stuff, but I just, I'm just gonna tell you, and when you research it, you'll see for yourself. So what I want to start off with is how in 1828, the governor introduced martial law against Aboriginals, effectively giving settlers the power to shoot on sight. Giving settlers the power. The governor. What the? How's it a governor and I'm I just can't. As I was saying earlier, since they seen us, they was trying to get us up through. That was in 1828. Okay? Fast forward to 1932 to 1972, when the Tuskegee syphilis experiment was going on, okay? When they were intentionally affecting Aboriginal males with syphilis to, and I quote, observe the natural history of untreated syphilis. And this study was brought to the people by the U.S. Public Health Service, a Center for Disease Control. And these are the people we are trusting to give us vaccines and make sure we are safe and healthy. Anyways, and that went on from 1932 to 1972. So I do not really believe these numbers because I feel like they're too low. But the two numbers that were alarming the most to me is 157 people were affected by this, which I believe is way below the truth, but that's all I could find. And then 700 people in Guatemala was also affected by this, and this was like in the cut because I seen this and I'm just like, because I was looking for more information about this subject, and it was just like, that just was surprising. I'm like, I didn't read this or any other thing, but now I'm saying it. Like, I feel like I had to bring that up because I feel like it's now us known. So that was definitely a plot on us. Then to move on to how they had Planned Parenthood come into effect around the time. And Margaret Sanger, the head of Planned Parenthood, was big on selective breeding. She had a whole project called the Negro Project. where she was actually associated with the KKK and actually gave a speech. It was a female on KKK, and just her views of eugenics and how she needs to basically exterminate those who are defective beings. And she didn't even use beings. She used the term, I believe, human weeds. Yeah. So this is what she says, and I quote: "The gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extinction of defective stocks, those human weeds which threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization." And I quote. And that was in the 1939 letter to Dr. C.J. Gamble. And around this time, Singer also urges him to get over his reluctancy to hire, and I quote, "a full-time Negro physician. Colored Negroes can get closer to their own members and more or less lay their cards on the table, which means their ignorance, superstitions, and doubt." And I quote. So if you guys didn't catch that, I'm going to break it down for you. She was basically urging Dr. Gamble to get over his reluctancy to be in works with the Negro community in order to sabotage the Negro community by giving them a face that they can trust. As I said earlier, all kinfolk and kinfolk, and that's why I said it. So this is another thing that Margaret Sanger did to manipulate our people and just the public in general. She calls on Gamble to enlist. So Singer also calls on Gamble to enlist spiritual leaders for support and to back them on their heavily racist agenda, stating, and I quote, "We do not want word to get out that we want to exterminate the Negro population, and the minister is the man who can straighten out that idea if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members." And I quote, Margaret Sanger said that. Planned Parenthood. Okay, back to the Tuskegee air experiments and whatnot. So this is not in connection with the civilist thing, even though it's like in connection as far as like the attempt to exterminate, but it's a whole different plot, because at this time, you know, it was around the time where, you know, it was a lot of segregation going on, and black people really had limited opportunities and were faced with, you know, not the most, but up there adversities and discrimination. So I'm feeling like once this Tuskegee air experiment, once they were talking about it and trying to recruit people, they were portraying it more as a opportunity to, you know, be somebody or something like that. But in reality, it was just another experiment where they could depopulate the Aboriginal community. So, mind you, in this experiment, it was mainly Aboriginal males, you know, going in air. And around this time, it had destroyed or damaged 36 German planes in the air, 237 on ground, as well as 1,000 rail cars and transport vehicles. And the German destroyer and all 66 Tuskegee aviators were killed in action during World War II, while another 32 were captured as prisoners of war after being shot down. And this was an all-black combat unit. You guys think that was just coincidence? Like that just happened like that? Just to name a few other things, you know, of course, eugenics, I mentioned that already. Just the propaganda that they have, the social distractions, the TV shows with this representation of how we aren't, you know, the stereotypes that they have, like, put on us, try to make it seem as if we are, like, just that. Even in TV shows, not just cartoons. News outlets, even celebrities portray more so of an imagery of us that's just the stereotype, not the true who we are and what we do as a people, as a union, you know. fake drama, fear-mongering attempts to influence our behavior. Even with this corona, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying corona is not real at all, but you know, it's just real fishy to me, honestly, because it's like it gives me plague vibes. You know what I'm saying? It gives me Black Plague vibes, and I don't understand it. And it's just like, how the fudge did we just come up with this vaccine with the quickness like this? This is the first time in history I've ever seen any type of medicine advertised so heavily, besides the HIV stuff that was going on. This vaccine is the first time I ever like heard it, like really, like they're paying people for this vaccine and stuff. And then outside of that, they have whole, like, oh my gosh, I shared this on my story because they had a whole commercial of a song that was a really popular song back in the day, remixed the song for the vaccine to, like, you know, urge you to be like, oh yeah, vaccine, talking about, damn, I'm really irritated, I can't think of it, but it was like something sexual with the vaccine, like how you gonna be all like that and you ain't vaccinated, something like that. But I'm just like, what? Let me find out y'all really doing all that. Like, no, it's something up to it. And then when did they come up with something like this ever? I never ever heard of any type of treatment. And then it's like, it's no proof. It got me messed up, y'all. It really got me bent. We can't fall for this. We can't just keep listening to what they saying and rolling with it. We have to be our own source of information. We need to start collecting our what we do in our history and stuff, and really put it in a stuff that's just for us, so they can't manipulate and show us what they want or hide certain things from us, because we really we lack history and culture, not because of us, but because they want to take it from us, they want to hide it from us, and they want to make it them. They want to take our stuff and rip it, like somebody ripping off some Louis and calling it Bowie, and then it's just like, you know it's Louis, but who remembers Louis? All you see is Bowie, so you gonna believe it's Bowie. Don't let them do us like that. Don't let them do us like that. You know, it really comes down to us coming together, uniting. You know, as they've been saying this, we've been saying this, but it's just up to us to push our egos back and really want better as a people and believing in ourselves, because the lack of faith that we have is a huge problem. And even stuff that be going on is a little bit separated from what I was talking about, but it's in the spiritual readings. This is not nothing out the blue, so we need to come together. So in conclusion, y'all, I just want us to come together. Everything I said in this video, to my knowledge, is the truth. I would never just try to just express something that I don't know is incorrect. I took a long time to make this video because I wanted to have as much accurate information as possible. But I want y'all to think about what I've said. You know what I'm saying? Really take it in. Research if you must. Because we can go so far if we just come together, you know, love each other a little bit more, respect each other a little bit more, believe in each other a little bit more. You know, if we unify beyond protest and protect each other and treat each other with respect and love and just care, like, I believe we can go so far, you know. We can do everything, anything we want. We can have our own country and be happy and at peace. You know, of course, there's always gonna be some type of difficulties or strife, but it's just like, as long as we have each other and we're pushing through and making the best of times, we will be happy. Let's choose to be happy and not let these people try to influence us to not be. We have to take ownership of who we are as Aboriginals. We might not be able to immediately get everything back that was taken from us, but we can build beyond what was taken from us, you know, and be beyond what they always try to be, if you catch my drift. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a really good time making it. I had a really good nap today. in between this video. So if I look a little bit more robust than I really am, I hope you guys are still feeling amazing. I feel amazing and inspired. I'm probably gonna drop a few videos after this video because I did take a little long time to upload this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and yeah, I love you guys. Peace.